Probably about the third game in the old NSL. I had thought about going, and I was looking after a mate's place next to the stadium, and I heard the roar and thought, I'm not missing this again, I want to get in there. It was my first experience of the old shed on the hill. I had been a football fan from following Sheffield Wednesday in England, and I thought, oh yeah, this is a bit more like what I like, and never stopped. Shed regular pretty much from the start. Back in those days I was living down in Armidale, and we had a bus that would go from the Elizabethan Village pub into every game. So we had a crew of about 20 or 30 from Armidale that used to rock in, have a great time, hit the Brisbane Hotel, the old beer garden there, and then I moved away after the 2000 grand final loss to the UK. So it was listening to them on the radio, and maybe once every 4 weeks we'd be the TV game in England, and then came back. And then I moved to Melbourne in 2008 and met the rest of the Victorian fans. Probably at least the 3 or 4 in Melbourne, and then we usually try to do a trip up to Sydney or Brisbane or Adelaide, because when you live on this side of the country you don't have to fly 4 hours. So yeah, it'd be 5 or 6 and maybe get to a home game around Christmas. It's weird to go back home and be surrounded by other Glory fans. We have this little tight-knit group, and we chat just about every day, just on the group chats, and get together to watch the home games because they're always on close to midnight. So either you've got to find a pub that's got Paramount that'll show it in the middle of the night, or up against, Carlton versus St Kilda or something, getting it in the tiny corner on the screen. So you sort of do feel like you're the odd ones out. Because we don't know many people from Western United yet, but Victory and City, we've got some pretty close friends, and they'll usually join us for the pre-game and post-game, and we'd love to have them with us and talk about football. So when I first came here, I went to my very first game at what's now Marvel Stadium, and there were 2 of us in the away bay, and I thought, oh well, I'll just go and see if we can find some Glory fans. And then met a couple of guys at a West Coast Eagles game, Justin Brown, and then we sort of started gathering other fans at various away games and ended up setting up a group chat, and then we decided to sort of form a group so we could talk with the club and make sure that any fans that were coming to Melbourne had someone to touch base with to find out where activities were before the game and after the game, and we've been pretty tight sort of ever since. I think there was the 3-3 draw, what would that be, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Diego Castro! Can you credit this? 2-2 in the blink of an eye! Wow!
There's been a lot of tough days, so it seems strange that draws would stick out. Quite a few wins against the Victory in a period there where I think we went something like 14 games over them. I think one of the things is that we just enjoy being together and supporting the guys so much that we've had some games where perhaps the result hasn't been great, but we've had a great time. So they're all good memories. Diego Castro. He's, I think, the best player I've ever seen wear the shirt. It is my attachment to my hometown. Coming here on the tour and meeting with great big groups of friends. And I follow all the teams from Perth, except Fremantle. And this is the one where I've made the closest friendships, and I can enjoy everything about game day.